You are a super tutor, it says.
Yes.
What does it mean, super tutor?
Super tutor just means that in your ratings that you're over 4.9.
Oh, okay. I've
Yeah.
seen people with over 4.9 and there was no super
I
tutor
think you
with it.
have to do it. I think it has to be so many weeks in a
Okay.
row.
And it says
Hmm.
you've done over 1,000 chats. I like how Cambly uses chats, not lessons. So how many have you
Yeah.
done exactly? Do you know?
Oh, I have no idea. I have no idea. A lot. A lot.
A lot more than
It
1,000.
I think so. I think so because I'm on Cambly now about 5 days a week.
I see.
So I believe, yeah.
So my first question is, what is the role of the language teacher? What is our role? Could you give me like
Hmm.
in a few words, the way you understand it?
I think our role as a language teacher is to find out the needs of our students and to meet them and then exceed them if possible. So a student might want to focus on grammar, then that's what we do. And you can embed other things in the meantime. You can use vocabulary with that grammar. You can use pronunciation techniques with that grammar. Most students on Cambly don't want to focus on grammar. They want the conversation and to sound natural. So,
This is something I read recently. The role of the teacher, the role of the language teacher is to teach the student how to learn alone without a teacher, how to become an
mm,
independent learner. What do you think about that?
mm.
Do you agree or disagree?
I think you can do, I, I agree and I disagree because I think a lot of the things you can do on your own. You can increase your vocabulary on your own. You can study the grammar on your own. You can even increase your listening skills, but your speaking you cannot do on your own.
It's a good point.
Pronunciation, yes, but speaking, no.
If
Hmm.
your reading is good and fluent, because you know the word fluent does not just apply to speaking. Fluent is
Correct.
also writing and reading
Mm-hmm.
and speaking. If a person is good at fluent at reading and say good at writing
Mm-hmm.
and good at listening, what are the chances of that person being good at speaking, in your opinion?
They're pretty high. They're pretty high.
Isn't that the same with native speakers?
It's the same. So
It's the same, yeah.
we have our input before we can do our output. So if you can write well, chances are you can speak well.
I think 100%. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I don't think it's possible to be good at writing but bad at speaking.
Right. I agree because that shows that you can take what's here
Exactly. I
and
mean,
then use it. Mm-hmm.
if you can write it, you can say it. You agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of
Yes. Mm-hmm.
language, right?
Yeah. Pronunciation, maybe not, but you can at least express your idea. Mm-hmm.
Which is huge. Pronunciation. So, again, going back to the role of the language teacher, you said not so much emphasis on mistake correction.
Mm-hmm.
Vocabulary, again, we can learn alone.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Grammar, we can learn alone. Pronunciation, I think, because another thing I read recently is language teaching is not about being a human dictionary. You agree with that?
Correct. Yeah.
So I think, I don't know if you've used, say, dictionaries like Longman or Cambridge or Oxford. They're pretty
I use
comprehensive.
mostly Merriam-Webster. I'm American.
Merriam-Webster, yeah, there's the Merriam.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
again, what's the role of the teacher?
The role of the teacher, I'm not I'm not going to change my thought. It's to listen to the student and what their needs are and meet them and then exceed them. So a student might not understand where they're making a mistake. They don't know. So as a teacher, we have to listen for that and listen to that, especially if it repeats. And then that's where the error correction comes in. But if you just correct every single error, the student doesn't have the motivation to continue practicing or learning.
By the way, have you ever paid for chatting with a foreigner?
No.
One more question.
Yeah, keep going.
Would a native speaker of your language pay money to have a casual conversation with you? In English, of course.
Would a native speaker of English pay to have a conversation with me in English? No.
You see, this is my issue with my frustration with, say, our job, is that I wouldn't pay either. I've never paid for learning because I learn through books, dictionaries, listening, and what we talked about. So in a way, I feel that I'm providing a service I wouldn't pay for. Language is a tool for acquiring knowledge. You don't learn by speaking. You learn through, you acquire knowledge through reading and listening. Everything you need to know about how to learn a foreign language, not just English, any foreign language, Japanese, French, Spanish, you can find in my book, Virtually Native, which is available on Amazon and virtuallynative.com. You have one life. Don't waste it.